recording, and we have an intro to play, and off we go, Brian. So here you go. This episode starts in 3, 2, 1.
I can smoke stogies in my house, first of all, because her father introduced me to stogies, and second of all, because I'm a stud. I'm ballsy. I don't take no shit from anyone. I smoke my stogie anywhere I want. I don't have to find a hideout place like you.
What the frick is that?
The morning stream. You didn't say the magic word.
Good morning, everybody, and happy Milk Day. Do you know why I say that? Milk Day?
Because it's MLK Day and looks, sometimes if you write it really fast, looks like there's an I in there as well.
It does. Welcome to Martin Luther King Jr. Day's edition of the TMS show for January 20th, 2020. It is 2020! 2020! No,
It is 1/20/2020.
How about one? No, it's 1/20/2020.
That's what I just said. It's 1/20/2020.
Oh no, you did say that. 1/20/20. Yeah, you did. Yep.
Maybe it's time to start drinking coffee, Scott.
I got water. It's fine. It's okay. I have a half-drink diet Mountain Dew here.
Okay.
Could do that. I could do
see
the
that,
dew. Yeah. Everybody watching the video, I apologize for my face being all blown out. I haven't had time to fix the camera yet. Something went jacked overnight. I think I got a Windows update that screwed it up. I'll have to just deal with it later. Yeah, it's no big deal. It's no big deal, Brian. I'll be okay. Everything will be fine.
No, it'll be fine.
Yeah. It'll be
As long
fine.
as you're not under a big old heat lamp, then I think we're fine.
Yeah, we should be okay. I know what the problem is. I got it right here. You ready for the problem? Here's the problem.
Yeah. Ooh, tell me the problem.
I had a dream last night that I think was the problem.
Okay.
This thing kept me up or woke me up, and I was having a really hard time sleeping. I'm super tired today. I'm just pooped. And I got a lot to do today, as you do too.
Yeah.
We both got busy days.
Yeah, busy days ahead of us.
Lots to do. Not great sleep, either one of us. Yet here we are. In my case, here's the dream. There was a
I have a dream.
There was a... I didn't even think about that. I have a dream on Martin Luther King Jr. Day. All right, I really did have a dream. But this dream is not nearly as hopeful and as optimistic as Martin Luther King Jr.'s.
no, quite the opposite from the looks of it.
Yeah. There is in my dream, we are ruled as a society in the near future by what appears to be a giant rooster. And by giant, I don't mean like building size rooster. I mean, this rooster is like the size of a car. Okay.
Okay.
Like a small hatchback size rooster.
Yeah.
And this rooster it's a bird. It's a full-on rooster. It doesn't speak or anything, but for some reason it is the tyrannical leader of all mankind. And I don't mean just America or any other single nation. It's everything all together now, run by a single rooster.
Wow.
Malevolent rooster, right?
Yes, sure.
And in the dream, it felt like everybody just had to tiptoe around everything. It just was dangerous. You had to live exactly by whatever the rooster's rules were. The dream wasn't clear about what those rules were, but I just had the feeling in the dream of constant watch your step, don't say that, don't smile too hard, don't frown, don't stay in line.
Yeah.
The entire time while thinking about this rooster. And if you didn't, here was the result. In the dream, multiple people rebelled against the wishes of the rooster, and they got pecked to death by small roosters.
Oh, so he has like a little army of minions.
Yes, and he's surrounded by chickens. By the way, female lady chickens are always with him. So he's got like an entourage of chickens. But the rooster...
That's probably what makes them really hard to assassinate, right? It's just the army of chickens.
They're all just taking bullets for him. But the thing is, I guess roosters are chickens, right? Isn't that just a man chicken?
Yes.
Okay.
It's just the male, yeah.
It's the impregnating chicken among the chickens.
It's the one that wakes you up in the morning and appears... I thought it was the one that appears on the cornflakes box. This was a trivia question I had this weekend. It's actually a cockerel. On the cornflakes box.
I wouldn't have known that ever.
I don't know what the difference is between a cockerel and a rooster, but please go on.
All right. I don't either. We need to learn that. Okay.
Yeah.
So this bird had all the, had the weird head thing and the like a big red deal, and he just looked mean. But he was like also just like a straight up rooster, where he's just kind of constantly looking around, pecking at the ground, that sort of thing. But we were all terrified of him, and if you crossed him, hundreds of roosters, little baby, like or normal sized roosters, would come pouring out of like minivans and things and peck people to death. Just like attack them onto the ground, just bah, 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 until they were dead. And so we were all kept in line by this ruthless regime of rooster and chicken.
I feel like if he's only the size of a hatchback, I don't feel like he would be that difficult to overthrow.
I agree.
Especially if you had a hatchback, because I think if you run into the giant malevolent rooster with your hatchback, the hatchback probably is going to win.
That's what I would have thought. Like
Yeah.
in the case of this dream, I remember having feelings like kind of ants versus grasshoppers in Bug's Life. It's like we can totally take these guys. There's not that many of them.
I would think a group of 4 people could probably take down a hatchback-sized rooster.
Yeah, and all we had to do was
we had a couple pitchforks and
sure, we just sneak up on him while he's putting his cock in the doodle doo, if you know what I'm saying.
Jeez. Okay. Well, you were very subtle, so well done.
That didn't come out. It came out way less.
Good thing you used euphemisms, because nobody will have any idea what you were just talking about.
I was riffing on the thing they say when they wake up.
I know.
Anyway,
Here's something that I feel is a good example of the difference between you and me. The dreams you describe sound like 1960s episodes of The Twilight Zone,
yeah.
while frequently my dreams feel like 2010 episodes of Black Mirror.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Well, give me an example. Do you have a recent dream that was super Black Mirror?
No, I usually forget them right away. And even ones where it's like where I think about it the rest of the day, none of those are coming to mind right now. But I always feel like my dreams are weird and dark and
Very existential, like
I wake up relieved that it was just a dream. But I never do that like you see in movies where
who does that? No one does that for real, right?
Nobody does that.
No. In fact, my oldest daughter, when she was little, had night terrors. And that's the closest we ever came to the movie style, which still didn't even work. What she would do is she'd kind of moan herself awake and go, and then she'd sit up and just go, I mean, it was never like, oh, it's just a dream, and it'd be all sweaty. No one does that.
Right. No, nobody does that.
Yeah, that's a movie thing, guys. Too many movies. Anyway, giant roosters rule the world. We're all screwed.
Jeez.
Tell me about, did you watch a movie this weekend? Or
I did go out and see a movie. Went out and saw a movie yesterday right before the Packer game. Poor one out for the Packer game.
Yeah, the poor Packer game. I don't want to think about it. Anyway.
Tina and I went and saw the last remaining movie on the Best Picture list that we had not seen yet, which is called Little Women.
Oh, Dr. Dolittle Women.
Dr. Dolittle Women.
Uh-huh.
Spoiler alert, the women are all full size, which is a big disappointment.
Oh yeah, but it's got that Pugh in there. I like her.
It's got Florence Pugh, yeah, and this is I think the first thing that I've really seen her in, because I haven't seen Hereditary or I guess she was in something else this last.
No, she's in
year.
she's in Midsummer. She's not in Hereditary.
That's what it was. It was
Yeah.
Midsummer,
Yeah,
right?
and she was incredible in it. Amazing.
Yeah, so that's something that I apparently need to see.
Like they're giving her Best
is
Supporting
Midsommar.
Actress for the thing you just saw. They should have probably given her a Best Actress for Midsummer. It's just a
Really?
genre
Midsommar?
film, so those things don't make it in there. But she is
Usually don't,
amazing.
yeah.
Yeah, she's so good. Anyway,
Cool. So it's got her. It's got Saoirse Ronan, rhymes with Inertia Ronan. It's got Laura Dern, who I think might be in all 9 Best Picture movies.
oh my gosh, yeah, Laura Dern's having quite the resurgence, isn't she?
She really is, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I know she's in Marriage Story, and I know she's in Little Women. I'm wondering if she peeks out of a window in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood and says, "Hi, I'm Laura Dern.
Yeah,
I'm in this one too."
may as well.
But she's got a great agent. Whoever her agent is, man, is great.
Does she have a scene in this movie where she thinks that Samuel L. Jackson is just reaching around her shoulder, but really it's his arm? It's been severed by a velociraptor. Does that happen in this?
Yes,
Oh.
but it's I didn't want to give anything away. It's after the credits.
Oh shoot!
So,
Okay,
yeah.
all right. No, say no more. It's fine. That's not quite a spoiler, but sure, it comes later. Watch for it, guys.
Yes.
Anyway,
It was good. You know what? It's I think this might be the first adaptation of Little Women that I've seen, which is funny because I feel like there have been 11 different adaptations of Little Women. I feel like every decade has an adaptation of Little Women.
yeah, feels like.
And I've never read the book. So I'm curious if the book is done the same way that this movie was, which has things kind of out of order. Or if the book is like, you know, the women are little and then they get bigger kind of thing, or if the book is also written in kind of that choppy.
How old is that
style.
book? Oh, Little Women, novel by American author Louisa May Alcott.
Yeah, 1868
yeah,
is when
wow.
when it was first published.
Wow, that was cowboy times.
Okay, GM Funkytown is we have disagreement right away. Jackalope Ashley says no, the out of order thing is all Greta Gerwig. GM Funkytown says yes, the book is told in flashbacks. I think that might be. Oh, okay. He says, well, maybe I'm wrong. So.
Oh, all right. I don't know.
Yeah.
I've never read it either, and I also think I only saw one, and it was the one with I can't think of her name all of a sudden. Beetlejuice.
Winona Ryder.
Yeah, wasn't she in one of those? She was a little.
She
woman.
was, and that's, you know what? That's something I was going to look up because I was curious. Somebody said that, oh yeah, it's got Winona Ryder and Julia Roberts, and I said, no, I think you're thinking of Mona Lisa Smile, but I could be wrong. Here we go. Gillian Armstrong directed 1994 adaptation, which starred
Yep, there it
Winona
is.
Ryder, Trini Alvarado, Samantha Mathis,
Mhm.
and Kirsten Dunst, and all of her teeth.
Yeah, every tooth. And this
And-
time she had all the teeth in.
And Claire Danes. Yeah, I don't think that one.
Oh, and Christian Bale was in that. Eric Stoltz.
Yeah.
Gabriel Byrne. That's a crazy cast.
Susan Sarandon looks like she might have been the mom in
she was,
in
yeah.
that version.
She was Mrs. March in there.
Mrs. March.
Mrs. March.
Mrs. March.
So would you? So all right, but okay. So of the, is this the first one you've seen? You said, or have you seen others?
This is the only Little Women adaptation I've seen.
I'd be curious how it compares because this one is rated highly. The old one, the '94 one, people seem to
Well,
like it.
Oh, really? Is it okay?
Yeah, seem to do okay.
Well, you know what? Maybe while this one is still fresh in my mind, I'll go back and watch some of the other adaptations. Let me see which ones are streaming.
Yeah.
I still have The Blob up as because that was the last thing that I.
Oh my gosh, Christian Bale looks like a 12-year-old in this. He's not that young,
Right.
but looks very young in it.
So there was a Little Women in 2017.
Oh, really? Just 2 years ago?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, just 2 years ago, and I'm seeing who's in that one. Oh, that was a
mini
3-episode show. It
Yeah.
looks like.
It's like a BBC thing or something.
Yeah. Because look at these names. Oh, this has Emily Watson in it.
Oh, hello.
Michael Gambon.
Yes.
Angela Lansbury.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, UK. Let's see.
So the Winona Ryder one looks like Showtime. I can watch it on Showtime subs, which I don't currently have.
Oh, it is BBC. Just confirmed. Anyway.
The Little Women from 2018.
Yeah.
That looks like a Nickelodeon production.
Yeah. Man, is there one every year?
Looks like, is that Leah Thompson is Mrs. March? It looks like it is. Katharine Hepburn's 1933 version is on Flix. 1949 with June Allison and Peter Lawford. Wow.
Wow.
Elizabeth Taylor. 1918 Little Women, all black and white.
Yeah.
Jeez, Little Women L.A. Oh, but that's about little people who are women.
Yeah, that's
Like a Bravo show.
Sure.
That looks like all of the ones that Just Watch has listed.
I also watched the video where Florence Pugh ate a bunch of food. You know those Asian videos, what are they called? Bangkok or
Mukbang?
Mukbang? That's it.
How many times are you going to say that word this morning, Scott?
Oh, the rooster word won't
What is
stop.
that called? Bangkok?
Bangkok? No, it's like her eating a bunch of like frilly desserts. It looks like stuff they'd almost have at like British Bake Off or something. But she's also wearing like this banana looking dress that's like super yellow and she just it was on Vogue.com and she just is sampling all this like fine pastries and everything. and it's just a dumb video of her eating and talking. But man, if she's not compelling, she's just great.
She is, and she's really good in this. This seeing her in this makes me want to go see her in all the other things. So
Yeah.
Midsummer is queued up on the
You should watch
on the
Midsummer.
streamer.
That thing
Yeah.
is weird, dude.
yeah.
But you know what the other thing I like about her? Here's the other thing I think I like about her.
Yeah.
She's normal.
She is normal.
She's just a normal girl. She doesn't have to be model perfect. She doesn't have, the ridiculous idea of what we think a female body should be in a modern day. She's just kind of normal, and on top of that, really good at her job. And I don't know what the deal is, but I just totally respect it. It's great. So keep it
cool.
up. Keep it going.
Oh, she's in The Commuter.
I forgot about that.
The film with what's his face?
Liam Neeson, right?
I've got a particular set of skills on this train. I have to find the bomb.
I have a particular
they're tall
20-minute
enough.
drive to work every day.
Exactly.
My commute. It's my commute.
I might read the newspaper. I might listen to This American Life podcast.
That's actually, I watched The Commuter. I kind of enjoyed it. I like
Yeah.
all his revenge movie things. I think they're fine.
Yeah,
I don't
think
really. I can't complain. They're fine.
I think we've got that one queued up to watch. That's the watch together thing.
Yeah. Well, you were totally right about his snowplow one. I love that. It was great.
Wasn't that fun?
Yeah.
Just such a, from the movie poster, you'd think, oh, light, innocuous movie. There's a tree. There's a car stuck in the tree. Ho, ho, ho.
Yeah.
But it turns out, oh, no, he's like getting revenge on everybody in that
Yeah.
one.
Cold Pursuit it was, right? Oh, there it is in
Cold
the chat.
Pursuit,
Cold
yeah.
Pursuit. It's a fantastic little movie that a lot of people probably just blew off because they thought it was like another Taken ripoff, but it's more than that. You should watch it. Had the taste of Tarantino in it.
The taste of Tarantino
Which
in a candy.
And some people in the chat will say, I'm out because they don't like him, but there it is. All right. Did you
so
say...
now I've seen all
Yeah.
9 movies.
Yeah.
And I still say my top 3 in this order: Parasite, Jojo Rabbit, 1917.
Who is Bob Odenkirk in this movie?
Do you want me to tell you?
Is he-
Well, it's not like a spoiler alert. I mean, but he's the dad.
Oh, okay. Not Saul Goodman. He's not.
He comes in as Saul Goodman. Yes, as Slick Jimmy.
That's too good. All right. Well,
that
sorry.
final season has got to be coming out soon, right?
Yeah,
Come on,
it's
hurry up
being
with the
worked on, I guess, right? Or
Better Call Saul. Yeah,
is it the final season?
I think so.
They said okay.
Yeah.
Well, all right. We've
Yes.
done as much as we can there. It's now time for Battle Royale. Now, here's the trick. Is it not? So we don't have Dunaway for sure, right? Where he's not.
We
coming.
do not have Dunaway. He may be getting looked at right now, but he won't be. Oh, 6th season is the final season. Okay.
Okay. Well, that's cool.
But I think we still have the 5th season.
Yeah, 5th has to come out, and then 6
Right.
will be the last one. Okay.
Correct.
That's
yes,
fine.
Sorry.
But they spread it out over, like, it's not every year like most shows.
It just takes such a long time for these things.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. Better Call Saul season 5. When's it coming out?
Got Mint Julep Jimmy on his porch taking his sweet time putting out his
Oh, here we go.
show.
February 23rd is when the first episode of season 5 will come out.
Excellent.
Yes.
All right.
Anyway.
Should we?
Okay, yeah,
So we're
so
doing
no-
this with
so no
listener.
Dunaway.
Yeah, no Dunaway today. It's going to be listener only, but you guys need to call in to be a part of this. Oh, we already got one. Let's see if this works. Allow. Okay. Hi. Good morning. Who's this? Hello. Can you hear us?
Unmute them, Scott.
I did.
Okay.
Hello. I bet they can hear me because. Oh, you know why? Because I'm using this new browser today. All right. Wait. Somebody call back. I think it has to. I think I had to accept microphone before a call came in
Oh, gotcha.
because
Right.
it's a new browser and it's requesting microphone access. So that's should work now. All right, so I'll take the very first person that calls. That is to say the second. Hi, good morning. Who's this?
This is Russ from Bellingham.
Hello, Russ from Billingham.
Bellingham, up by the
Bellingham.
Canadian border in Washington State.
You know what I pictured when you said, because I heard Billingham, I pictured a pig walking around collecting taxes. He'd be called the Billingham.
The Billingham, right.
Yeah. Oh no, the Billingham's coming. Did you keep?
I'm here to collect your taxes.
Yeah. I'm here for your taxes. Don't think you can hide your taxes under the bed.
Oh, root them out.
On to Billingham. All right. Anyway, it's good to have you here, and we're going to play a game. You probably know how this works. It's going to be different today, though, and Brian will explain how it'll work. So, Brian, how's it going to go?
That's right. We do not have Brian Dunaway today, so I'm going to be giving Scott and Russ a topic. The two of them are going to go back and forth giving us answers for that topic. Now, Russ, you and Scott are not allowed to Google answers, or you're not allowed to write down answers that you've used. If one of you gives a wrong answer, repeated answer, or they take too long to come up with an answer, the win will go to the other player. Your job is to win. That's it.
That's
really,
it.
You know.
Yep.
That's it.
All right.
The topic today comes to us from Katavari. Let's see. I can't really tell you why, but there is an anniversary that's coming up for The Tonight Show.
Oh.
And over the nearly 66-year history of The Tonight Show, there have been 16 people who have hosted at least 2 episodes. 16 people have hosted at least 2 episodes who are the hosts of The Tonight Show.
Okay. And these can be guest hosts, because that's what a twofer would be. Okay.
Yes, a twofer would be a guest host.
All right.
Correct.
All
right.
I like this.
Now, Russ, I will give you the advantage. You can choose whether or not you go first or Scott goes first. You may want to take some pieces of low-hanging fruit off the board. So if you want to go first, you can.
Yeah, I'll go first. And you said The Tonight Show, correct?
Yeah.
The Tonight Show, yep.
All right, I'm going to go off my gut and say Johnny Carson.
There you go.
Right.
Johnny Carson, he's a really good one to say. Yeah,
that fruit hangs so low it is in the dirt. Good fruit grabbing. Good job.
Yeah.
That's right.
Even I know that
Johnny
one.
hosted from October 1st, 1962, all the way to May 22nd, 1992. 4,531 episodes he hosted. So we're gaining on him, Scott, but we're not there yet.
All right. I know a lot of these, so this is going to be good for me. I'm going to take some other low-hanging fruit, though, and go Jay Leno next.
Jay Leno. So the first time he hosted, it was on May 25th, 1992.
Guest
and then he
hosting.
took over guest host, and then he took over permanently on March 1st, 2010, and did 835 episodes.
Wait, that's not right. 92 is when he first took over, and then he quit briefly while Conan did it.
2009, correct. Oh, yeah.
And then
1992, first tenure, 92 to 2009, 3,775 episodes. Second tenure, 2010 to 2014.
Yeah, there you go.
Yep.
That was
you might
weird.
You might have just given Russ another
Oh,
piece of
yeah,
low-hanging
shoot.
fruit to take.
Maybe Conan was only there for a day.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and say Conan because I'm not sure I know more than that. But we'll go Conan O'Brien.
Take that. Good one to steal. Got to take these advantages when they come to you. Conan started June 1st, 2009, ended January 22nd, 2010, only did 146 episodes.
All right. I'm going to go with... Actually, that's more than I thought he did. That was a bummer. He got screwed on that whole deal.
He did get screwed. Yeah. He came out all right on the whole TBS thing.
Yeah,
though.
he's all right. He's fine. He has this, in the end, who's talking about Jay Leno today? Nobody. Who's talking about Conan?
Exactly.
Everybody. All right, I'm going to say, there's other low-hanging fruit, but I'm going to go with something a little weird because I remember all the guest hosting I thought was going to lead to him hosting, and it didn't, so he left, and that would be David Letterman.
David Letterman, according to this list, did not host more than once.
Oh, he
But I wanna
hosted at
confirm
least
that.
twice. At least
I
twice.
want to confirm this. I think he did as well, but this list, let me confirm before we go one way or the other.
Guaranteed. Guaranteed. My memory on this is like a big burning flaming bush.
Hold on. Let's see.
It was all before you went to late night. And then later when Carson was retiring, Letterman was on the block to maybe take it over. But then Leno got it, so he left, went CBS. But before late night, he hosted at least twice.
I would think so. He guested a lot, according to this. I mean, like he appeared as a guest,
Right.
but not as a host on this list. Stand by. Oh, this one won't tell me if he was a host, though. It'll just tell me how many times. Let's see. David Letterman not only wanted to move in that earlier time slot from his late night spot, 1992.
Gotta be more than one.
I would think so. Yeah. Letterman having had his heart set on the earlier time slot in spite of Leno's rating success as recurring substitute. Okay, so that's not Letterman being. I am not finding.
No!
This is crazy.
This can't be. I know 100 other names I could have said.
I know. According to this list, and yeah, if someone can find information that shows that he did it,
Frick!
I know.
The Billingham
Well, that's what I was gonna
wins.
say, so.
Ah, the Billingham wins. He showed up in his 3-piece suit and took all my money. All right, hold on a second.
Yep.
Is that? Oh, all right, I'm gonna look this up later. I was sure he did more than that.
I was sure as well. I was when you said that, I was like, oh yeah, Letterman should be on this list. But now that I think about it, maybe it was just. I feel like he showed up at least once because he brought a cardboard desk, didn't he?
Yeah, there's something
Oh,
weird.
no, it was when he was a guest on the show. He brought his own desk to like.
Oh no, that was Carson came on late night and brought his
That's
desk.
right, and brought his own desk.
Yeah,
That's
but I
correct.
still remember this. I'm such a dumbass. All right. That's dumb because I could have said Jimmy Fallon. I could have said Joan
could've.
Rivers. I could have said
Could've.
Joey Bishop. I could have said
Yeah.
hold on, don't say anything. Steve Allen. I could have said
Of course.
guy who said diarrhea and got kicked off. Jack Parr.
Jack Parr said diarrhea and got kicked off.
He made some diarrhea joke and they tried to censor him, so he quit. Or something like that. Or they threatened to kick him. I can't remember what the deal was. It was really weird back then.
Yeah, you could have said any of those people.
George Burns did it a couple times, right?
George Burns, not more than once. You could have also said Ernie Kovacs, Jack Lasculi, Al Jazzbo Collins. Might have said Jazzbo and got kicked off.
Yeah.
Art Linkletter for 4 weeks. Merv Griffin for 4 weeks. Hugh Downs for 2 weeks. Hugh Downs sat in the
Downs.
chair for 2 weeks. Yeah.
What the frick?
Jerry Lewis for 2 weeks. And that's it. Why am I not seeing Gary Shandling in this list?
Yeah,
Gary
why isn't
I know
Shandling
is in
did
this
it?
list too.
Yeah, it's Don Rickles, I think, did it a couple times. Maybe that list is, maybe we're all crazy. Maybe this is all a different timeline. I don't know what happened to me. All right, well, you win then, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, you freaking win. We're sending stuff to Billingham.
All right.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Here's all you have to do. You got to email Brian Coverville@gmail.com and he'll send you your winnings. But well done. You hung in there and I screwed that up. Well done. We'll see you later.
Oh,
there goes
that's
that.
right. And just to give them one more plug, one of our prizes today is supplied by Canna World Market. Go to cannaworldmarket.com/Loveland, CANNA worldmarket.com/Loveland, and order your CBD treats. Russ today is getting some CBD lip balm.
Nice.
Natural flavor.
Yeah.
And some look like CBD honey treats, honey candies. So
there you go.
Enjoy that. Of course, he's also getting the 2 games that we didn't give away last week.
I was sure he got Late Night with David Letterman because of what they liked about his hosting for Johnny.
Yeah, I this surprises me too. I wonder if let's see.
Oh, shite.
He was a regular guest on the show and was a regular guest host.
Let's see. I found a little listing that said getting the
Joe
nod. to sing
Guyard
for
says he
Johnny.
hosted once, December 5th, 1979.
Steve Martin hosted once. Kermit the Frog hosted once. According to this list.
Really?
So this says David Letterman and others such as Jerry. Okay. Guests did launch their careers. Okay. All right. Maybe it just was the one and it was a big deal. I don't know.
That seems really weird. I could have sworn that he was in there multiple times. So
I was sure of it. Okay. Well.
Yeah. The good news is,
yeah,
Russ wins. But if we find out that you are correct later on, we find some proof, then you win too.
Oh, then I get.
You weren't gonna get these CBD treats anyway, so it's no skin off your nose.
No, I got some oil upstairs. Tastes like grass. I'm good. I'm fine.
Yeah. Problem solved.
Doesn't really do anything for me. Sort of just sits there. This oil that I have. Although the stuff from
foot off a CBD gummy bear apparently.
well, it depends. It depends on the brand. So this Feels brand actually does work. The other kind I use, and I forgot the name of it, that we still have from leftover, it never did anything for me. So I think there's there's probably like a huge gap between function and what they promise and what actually works, because I don't know how regulated this stuff is. That's why I like Feels, because they have they got people you can call. It's not just some fly-by-night thing, which is nice.
Always better for sure.
All right. Oh, Sergeant Zim says he was going to say Letterman and was out too. So there you go.
Oh wow, cool. So Sergeant Zim is Russ.
Yeah, is that Russ?
That's Russ.
All right. Well, hey Russ, it was good to have you on. Congratulations and well done. Sure. Don't get too stoned on the CBD. Doesn't actually work that way. All right.
Doesn't work that way. No. Shouldn't work that way.
No.
Then you might be buying the wrong stuff.
That's true. Now this. Let's dive into some news this morning. Speaking of pot, this was not on purpose to transition here into the pot discussion, but Oregon marijuana sales are 420% stronger near Idaho.
Nah.
Yeah.
Wow.
420.
420%.
That's the part that made me question this article, actually, because I'm like, really? Exactly 420%.
Stronger near Idaho. So the closer you get to the Idaho border.
Meaning Idahoans are coming over the border and getting their fix is what's happening.
Yes.
Because Idaho.
It's like they were trying to find any statistic related to pot that would be 420. Well, if we include this county, then it's 420. Okay, include that county.
Yeah, basically, yeah. So I guess that's what's happening. Idaho, where it is not legal to purchase said marijuana for any kind of use, people are heading over the border. It's kind of like us and fireworks. We do this with Wyoming, because Wyoming you can get fireworks and they're legal. Down here, they're super restricted because of fire stuff, and so we'll go over there. When I was a kid, we'd all drive up to Wendover, or no, that's Nevada. Same thing though. And
we'd go to Cheyenne, just south of Cheyenne, between Cheyenne and the Colorado border. Yeah. But it's always funny to see when we do road trips to Salt Lake, right, for Nertacular or other things.
Yeah.
It's funny how, like, as soon as you cross over to the border of some places, it's like 100 fireworks stands just right there.
Yep. Oh yeah, they know what's up. And I'm guessing this marijuana thing's similar. Idaho residents are purchasing recreational marijuana in Oregon because it's illegal in their state. The report has showed stronger marijuana sales in Washington state, whose state is bordered with Idaho also in 2019, and along its borders with Oregon and Canada, they also do well. The sales in countries along the along the Idaho border were much stronger than I anticipated, said analyzer Josh Lehner. It's probably Lehner. I don't know.
Or Leonard, yeah.
Leonard, yeah. The H.
It's like Lehrer, McNeil Lehrer.
Oh yeah.
You don't pronounce the H.
No.
Or pause or anything.
I'm
gonna be watching the McNeil Lehrer report later.
Also, nice deep cut for a thing I thought was the most boring thing when I was growing up. Like if the PBS was on and it was the McNeil Lehrer report, I would rather die than sit there.
Yeah. Oh, exactly. Yes.
Probably would be okay with it now. Anyway, obviously recreational marijuana is not legal in Idaho, but even after throwing the data into a rough border tax model that accounts for incomes, number of retailers, tax rates, and the like, there remains a huge border effect. Honestly, I think this might be what pushes a lot of states to just go for it, because you're creating a weird legal
dichotomy.
Yeah, it's
conundrum or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. So just make it legal and quit and knock it off. You just do it. It's no big deal. Like, this stuff grows in the ground. You already let people drink themselves silly. What's the problem? Just do it. Mm-hmm. It's fine.
Are there any of the Democratic candidates that are like have that as their platform?
I don't think
I'm going to make it so that you can buy. I'm Richard Nixon, and I'm coming back to life to run my Bernie Sanders.
I just like
evolved into a.
I don't like Trump so much, I'm running for the Democratic ticket. I think I don't think anybody's really touting it, because the states are all kind of pushing it. So I don't think on a federal level you need to say much or make it part of your plan. But that's a sticky wicket they can probably avoid. But but yeah, like there's no. It's dumb. Just do it. Go ahead and do it. I am pro whatever the law is, but I also am pro sort of like this law. Just change it. It's fine. Yeah. Get over yourselves. You had your 60s and 70s where you demonized it. Now you can just relax. Let's make it less,
Exactly.
Let's make it less criminalized.
Decriminalize the pot, man.
Yeah, man.
Man.
All right, here we go. Oh yeah, Idaho is surrounded, dude. They are surrounded. They border 3 states that have legalized recreational marijuana, including Oregon, Washington, and Nevada. They can't help it.
But no Montana. So Montana's still holding out as well. Big
Yeah.
Sky Country.
Yeah, in Utah, of course, we're rubbing their
course.
chode.
Right. Of course.
Yeah,
Yes.
we're rubbing their chode.
Rubbing their chode.
That's good stuff. All right.
Rubbing Idaho's chodes in 1776.
Speaking of things are changing.
Yeah.
After 30 years, Hank Azaria will no longer voice the Simpsons character Apu.
Oh wow. Are they going to bring in somebody?
Well, like an
okay,
actual.
yeah, tell me a story. I guess I better listen to the story, Scott.
Here's how the story goes. After 30 years as a controversial Indian American character on The Simpsons, Hank Azaria has announced he will no longer voice the thickly accented Apu Nasahima Peta Frickapetalon. I can't say it. Nasa, my wife does it.
Frick in there though.
Yeah, can't do it. Anyway, it says as we know there is all we know there is.
All we know
See, I
there is-
can't read the anything but freaking Third Eagle there. All we know is there. All we know there is.
No,
Why
it's
is
all
it-
we know there is I won't be doing the voice anymore. It's a poorly worded sentence.
All we know there is I won't be doing. The
All we
voice
know
anymore.
there is I won't be doing the voice anymore.
They need a comma there.
They do, or they just need to clean it up.
Unless there's some way to translate it or something, he says. Hank Azaria said he told this to Slash Film, an industry news blog that reported it Friday. It had asked the actor about the matter in a discussion panel. That's awesome. I know the guy that runs Slash Film. That's a great get. What you're going to do with the character is their call, Hank Azaria said, according to Slash Film. It's up to them, and they haven't sorted it out yet. All we've agreed on is I won't do the voice anymore. The decision to remove Azaria from voicing Apu was mutual, the actor said, according to the site. We all agreed on it. We feel like it's the right thing and it's the right thing and good about it. We all feel like it's the right thing and good about it. Maybe Hank Azaria needs to
Hank
switch up what he
Azaria. Somebody
says.
needs to start speaking for Hank Azaria.
No kidding. Who's going to do your voice? Let's see. The comedian Hari Kondabolu, whose 2017 documentary called "The Problem with Apu" and my horrible pronunciation,
Right.
thrust controversy about the character into the mainstream. Wrote Friday on Twitter he hopes The Simpsons keeps Apu and lets a very talented writing staff do something interesting with him. My documentary, The Problem with Apu, was not made to get rid of a dated cartoon character, but to discuss race representation in my community, which I love very much. It was also about how you can love something like The Simpsons and still be critical about aspects of it, like Apu. Yeah, I'm fine. I'm curious to see what they do. It'd be cool if they could, if they get an Indian actor,
Eastern Indian person to do the voice.
yeah,
Yeah,
they do.
exactly.
If they do that, what I hope is that they can get it somewhere close to Apu's affectation that Hank Azaria already does, so it doesn't feel too jarring. Just from a character point of view, like forget about all the outside
Maybe
issues.
less comedic stereotype and more accurate, but still close enough that it's
That it feels right. You know, it doesn't feel like somebody died and you slip somebody in there, because I hate that. But on the other hand, what I kind of hope they do is something weird with it. Like I kind of hope they do like when
like Apu goes to a school to get voice trained to be like a voiceover artist. And
Yeah.
then all of a sudden it
can be very
Clooney.
very audience winky. You know, you can
totally,
fourth wall that a little bit, have some fun with it. You know, don't worry about it too much and just have some fun with it. I kind of hope they do that. They did this with Flanders' wife when she died.
Maud,
Yeah, because the character died, but it was because the actress was crazy and she got fired. And they had fun with it. So have fun with it is what I'm saying. So we'll see how it goes.
Well, she got crazy and demanded that she make as much as some of the other people who came in and did, minor character voices.
Oh, was that her deal?
Yeah, her husband actually taught me a class. I was among about 10 people in a class that her husband taught here in Denver about doing voice work.
Oh, really? That's cool.
Yeah, and it was like, oh, you know what? $20. I'll go to that class and take it. It was like 1993, 94 or something.
Did you learn anything?
And-
Did you come away going, oh, yeah.
Oh, I guess it would have to been after Maud Flanders got hit with a t-shirt gun. So whenever that was, it was after that, because he
Oh.
talked about her split with the Simpsons and what all that was about.
Oh, wow. She only did she did Maude and then one other little side thing or something? Some other character? She didn't do
Yeah.
much.
Yeah, Lovejoy, maybe Reverend Lovejoy's wife, I think.
Oh, maybe. That's why you don't see her anymore.
So in this class, like he talked about, how to do certain, you do this voice, and this is actually where I learned that any voice you do, you have your phrase that gets you into that voice. So too much hassle is how I get into my Russian accent. If I start with the too much hassle, then I can go right into it. And then everything else just goes right into Australian, gravelly voiced Australian voice. But then, like at one part of the class, he had a bunch of cartoon characters drawn, and then we all had to get up and do that voice. And I got a big yokel car mechanic bear, and I went a little too. I feel like I went a little too foghorn leghorn. I'll say I should fix your car. That's what I.
Nice. I'm gonna be critical of a thought that's in the chat real quick here.
Which is?
Tally says the show is 31 years old. Maybe it's time for something else. You can have multiple things at once.
Yeah.
To Lizarelle, you can have more than one thing happening at once. I like The Simpsons, and I'm happy to see it go as long as they want to go. I don't care. I'm not one of these people
about this new Apple TV animated thing by the Bob's Burgers people called Central Park.
Oh yeah, I saw that. I'm very excited about that. Actually, that's one thing Apple TV needs in their lineup for this Plus service is a good animated series. I agree.
For sure.
Yeah, that'd be good. But yeah, it's fine. 31 years, let them go. Keep going. It's a huge record. It's like the nerds won, guys. Be happy.
Keep going until people stop watching it.
That's right.
Right now, they're still watching it, and I'm still watching it.
That's right. Here's a good story about a brawny Disneyland guest.
Oh, was he the quicker picker-upper?
He was. He would soak up everything.
I guess that was Bounty.
Was it Bounty
Brawny
or Brawny?
Brawny is the big lumberjack guy who
right.
Who like reaches in through the window and hands the woman some paper towels.
Right. She would always right. He was like the Jolly Green Giant, except he did paper towels.
He pushes the paper towels in there and says, "Not Paul Bunyan." Yeah. No, don't sue me. I'm not Paul Bunyan, but here's some paper towels.
So back to
I'm the same size as Paul Bunyan, but I'm not Paul Bunyan.
I'm not Paul Bunyan. Don't sue me. Someone in the chat says haven't watched The Simpsons in 15 years. All right. I don't understand that has anything to do whether it should exist or not. Right, it's still in like the top 25 shows that air every week. You should just be. It's fine. Why? What did it? Where did the Simpsons touch you? And why are you mad at it? All right.
I gave it up for Lent.
That's right. I gave up Simpsons for Lent. That seemed like a thing that some might have to do. All right. Brawny Disneyland guest removes Park's Sword in the Stone. You know the Sword in the Stone there?
Oh, yeah.
The Excalibur? Well, using sheer brute force, a Disneyland guest successfully removed the Sword in the Stone from its anvil. Yeah.
Oh, no, you're not supposed to be able to do that.
Yeah.
What did he, did they get I feel like if they don't give him a forever park admission.
Yeah, just let him in. Let that guy in.
Yeah.
It says here that it was first reported the sword was removed as part of a planned refurbishment, but the guest stepped up to share what actually happened. The sword has not been removed for refurbishment. My friend Sam broke it last week on the 8th when we went to Disneyland. He literally ripped it out. The staff said it was really old, and that's why he was able to do it. Sure. You just don't want to make him king. That's all. You don't want him to get king status. Anyway.
I know. He should. That's the rules. The rules, you put that there. It's the rules. He has to be now king of Disneyland.
Yeah. Let's see. The staff said they taped it off so no one would stick their fingers and cut themselves on the broken piece that was left inside.
Oh, yeah.
It says here...
Removed the sword from the stone. He broke the sword out. Broke the exposed part of the sword off of the stone.
Exactly. It says, unfortunately, the poor fellow did not become king as legend dictates, and a brand new sword has already been placed in a freshly polished anvil in its central Fantasyland spot. So,
do you think...
all is well.
Do you think, the second that thing broke, a bunch of Disney guards in black suits with cords to earpieces coming out of their collars grabbed him and took him to the nearest hole that goes down into the Disneyland underworld?
I hope they were yelling "swarm, swarm, swarm" as they did it.
That's right, exactly.
Yeah. Man, these guys in the chat really hate The Simpsons.
Really?
Like Leninade says, Simpsons is a glorified jobs program for boomer comedians. first of all, most of them are like Gen X comedians. And second of all, what are you even talking about? Nobody is taking your face every Sunday and smushing it against the screen and saying, watch this. You have to see it. Just ignore it if you don't like it. You guys are weird. All right, moving on. We're going to take a break. When we come back, major spoilers. That is to say, Steven will be here. We're not going to spoil anything.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
so
we got nothing
to
to spoil.
Spoil everything.
Nah, it'll be fine.
Little women are not little, but they are women.
They're huge. And we're going to do that. And then after that, we're going to not talk to Daryl, but we're going to play a mashup, and that'll be fun. So stick around. Coming right up after this. Before that, though, a song.
Well, like Maud Flanders, this also comes from Denver. I guess the actress who played Maud Flanders did come from Denver and wanted more money because she was commuting back and forth from Denver to LA to do voice work. Band-Aid Brigade. It's the musical project of Zach Quinn, who is from the band Pears, Brian Wallstrom, who is from Scorpios and Gods of Mount Olympus, and their friends Paul Rucker from Armchair Martian, Street Dogs, and Drag the River, and Chris Vogel from The Gamuts are releasing their debut album. I love all these band names.
Great.
It reminds me of that Saturday Night Live thing, and Guns. You know, like where they have like all the fake sounding band names.
Yeah.
Anyway, they're releasing their debut album, I'm Separate, tomorrow, January 21st, 2020, which you can go pick up tomorrow. This album was recorded at Back in Bloom Studios here in Denver, co-produced with Vogel, and it stretches beyond the punk roots to kind of a cool power pop feel to it. I totally dig this. You guys are going to hear the song Travel Light. Here's Band-Aid Brigade from their brand new album called I'm Separate.
You give a poor man a fish and you feed him for a day. You teach him to fish. You give him no.
I'm not up for extemporaneous bullshit.
The morning stream. It's totes fat.
You give that man to a fish, and the fish will eat for a week.
Oh, I felt bad for this guy. It was this video I found of a guy at a hunger summit where they're talking about, you know, how to, in struggling countries, what kind of skills to teach to have people subsist on their own and that sort of thing. And he just could not get the thing right. The whole fish for a day, fish for
totally
life.
Reminded me of fool me once, shame on me, fool me twice, and never gonna get fooled again. I think the Who said that. Won't be fooled again.
How much is a Brazilian? Yeah.
I miss W.
I miss W too.
Never thought I'd ever say that, but man.
I couldn't stand Clinton. I miss Clinton. I couldn't stand Bush Jr. I miss Bush Jr.
I know, yeah.
I liked Bush Sr. Okay, I guess. I thought, but I even miss like the buffoonery that was his vice president, Dan Quayle. Yeah, I miss.
I know,
that
like when that
stupidity.
was the worst. When the worst thing was misspelling potato.
Yeah.
Or at least convincing school kids that was the only way to spell potato, whatever it was.
I miss it when people gave Obama a hard time for wearing a tan suit. I miss those days.
Right.
Oh, he wore a tan suit. Did you see that? Oh, he got Dijon mustard at the deli he visited. What?
Oh,
what?
He folded his Chicago pizza before he ate it. What?
He's never cheated on his wife and raised kids and has a dog. What? All right. Enough of that. There's your political segment for the day.
Let's talk to Steven.
Yeah. Well, I should probably call him though.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we could talk to him. We just won't hear him talk back if we don't call him.
You're right. You're right. This is exactly how this works. So now we're going to call him, and we're going to play this.
Steven.
Hello, Steven Schleicher. How are you?
Is it too early for a fish sandwich?
Well, no.
It's too early for a fish sandwich.
It's never too early for a fish sandwich here on the show. So if you want one, feel free.
Hey, it's too early to get a fish sandwich?
Nope.
Listen, I would argue that bagels and lox is a fish sandwich.
There you go.
Yeah.
It's an open-faced fish sandwich, and therefore it is never too early to get a fish sandwich.
There you go. There you have it.
Put that to bed.
Put that to bed where it belongs. Steven, it's good to have you here. How was your weekend?
Yeah, it was a weekend.
Yeah? Didn't sound great. Doesn't sound great by the tone there. You know, didn't have a good weekend?
I just didn't do anything. The kids were out because school was closed on Friday.
Yeah.
Because of the ice storm.
Oh, you had one of those, did you?
Yeah, it wasn't that big of a deal.
Yeah.
And then today's Martin Luther King Day, so they're out of school again.
Oh.
So they had a 4-day weekend. So they were bouncing around the house, and I tried to get work done. So.
I get you. No, same here. These holidays mean nothing to me. They're like completely just nothing. Although we moved Carter out on Saturday, and that was sad. But she's all good now. I'm going to go to lunch with her actually today and see the new place and take some extra stuff that she left here. And you know, it's one of those melancholy kind of two-sided coins. But I'm using the coin. It's fine. Looking at one side and going, "Aw," and I look at the other side of the coin and going, "Aw." But it's just it's a coin. In the end of the day, I got a coin. And it's fine. Steven, let's talk about the goings-on and nerdity and things that you cover over at Majorspoilers.com.
Okay.
On the heels of Arrow is Heels.
This kind of surprised me. Well, maybe not. Stephen Amell, as many people know, is a huge wrestling fan. In fact, he was even in one of the WWE matches a couple of years ago. Yeah.
I didn't know this. Jeez.
Oh, yeah. It's a big deal. Go look for, I think it's WWE. Somebody will correct me. I'm not a huge wrestling fan. Okay. But after Arrow, he is now in production of a show called Heels, which follows a Southern wrestling promotion family as two brothers clash over their father's legacy. And they do it both in the ring and outside the ring.
Wow. This has nothing to do with the women's stilettos, pumps, sandals, shoes, and boots website, heels.com. Nothing to do with that. Okay.
No.
Okay. All right. I gotcha. Okay. Well, that seems like a weird new project for a thing that's otherwise, you know, Arrow's just like, oh, here's Green Arrow.
Yeah, no, seriously, go and look at him do. This was like, I want to say 4 years ago that he jumped into the ring and did this big wrestling stunt for one of the WWE events. Heels is supposed to arrive on Starz, but there's no release date yet. It's going to be an 8-episode season. And so we'll see what happens with that. But
every time he enters the ring, will he go, "You failed this city"?
Also, if it Starz, there's going to be swears and boobies.
Maybe. Maybe some wiener.
I think that's the rule over there. That's my understanding, is if you're going to make a Star show, you know, they courted, who made BSG's reboot? Ronald Moore. They courted him over there, and they said, hey, we know that you've been doing Star Trek and then BSG. We'd like you to come to do this time-traveling lady movie show thing. And we're going to adapt that, and you're going to be, oh, sweet, that sounds great. But people need to be naked a lot and doing it. And he said, well, okay, all right, he said.
Okay, guess I can add some boobies.
Yeah.
By the way, speaking of Arrow and all that, we haven't talked since the conclusion of the Crisis on Infinite Earths. What did you think of all that?
I did a whole hour with Matthew on our Patreon page talking about Crisis. Here's the bottom line for me. This was great because they were able to tie all of these universes together.
Yes.
And over the course of the 5 hours, they gave us some great emotional moments. The story was kind of a mess. Not kind of a mess. The story was really a mess.
It was super hand wavy of like, okay, well, now we need to fight these guys on a rooftop because we have to. Now, but we've solved this problem with a very easy solution, and now that's over. Yeah.
No, it's a mess of a story, just kind of like the comic book originally was. If you just read Crisis on Infinite Earths and didn't read the tie-in issues, it very much is a mess there. But, you know, for the emotional moments and tying in the various universes, including the Ezra Miller bit, that was very, very well done.
That was such a great moment. Holy cow.
So definitely watch the 5 hours. I think it's all available right now on the CW streaming service for free. So people can go and watch it, but don't go in expecting a fantastic story.
If Ted Knight were still alive, would we get his narration for?
Oh, I think so.
Meanwhile, he was great at that.
Yeah.
Yes.
He didn't do it very long,
there's a
though.
Hall of Justice, Scott.
Oh, that's true. But he didn't do it very long, right? Wasn't he just sort of some early season stuff for Super Friends and then some other guy?
I think
he was the only.
Yeah, I
you're
think
in
once
there
you
forever.
record it, they just reuse it.
Did they? Oh, that's interesting.
Meanwhile, in the Hall of Justice.
I mean, I loved how he did it. He was great.
Yeah.
Meanwhile,
that
he
was
said,
perfect.
he said, meanwhile, at the Legion of Doom. I was just like, whoa, Legion of Doom.
And he always
there.
sounded like he was in a closet with no soundproofing or something like that. It was like always so echoey.
Yeah.
Meanwhile,
He probably was.
far away from the microphone.
And as a kid, you just thought that's almost like a guy's watching it with you and reminding you where you're going to go. Like, oh, we're having a scene change. Boodle-lee, boodle-lee. Meanwhile. And like he's just right there with you. You and Ted Knight. Oh, that's so
the
good.
greatest.
Anyway, I remember being shocked. Okay, this is a fun childhood story. Because all I knew him from was the Mary Tyler Moore Show and the voice in that thing for Super Friends. So to me, he was a very wholesome guy. And it's the only way I knew him. So I see Caddyshack for the first time. And I remember thinking, oh my gosh, this is like a rated R, very rated R movie. And Ted Knight's in it. How can this be? I remember it shocking me a little bit that he was
But
in
he
it.
didn't do anything.
It's like,
I mean,
what's her
he
name?
maybe dropped an F-bomb or something, but he wasn't. At least he wasn't the Rodney Dangerfield role. which would have been
right,
really
right,
weird
right.
for him.
Yeah.
Even when he was on that Too Close for Comfort show, he was still, he was still Baxter, Ted Baxter, right?
Yeah,
He just
and
basically Ted Baxter with a pen.
Sure, and I'm pretty certain that if you had him, if that movie was made today with the exact same everything, I think that movie's PG-13 anyway. I don't even think it's R anymore.
Right.
But when you're a
right.
kid, it just seems like a little shocking. It was like when who's Sound of Music? What's her name?
Julie Andrews.
Julie Andrews. When Julie Andrews was in this movie called S.O.B.
Yes, where she rips open her top.
Yeah, you get Julie Andrew boobs. I remember thinking, what are we doing? It's a Mary
What happened to
Poppins.
Mary Poppins?
Yeah,
What
Mary
happened to
Poppins.
Music.
Mary Poppins, what you flopped out your boobies, Mary Poppins, Philip?
Sing do re mi and a spoonful of sugar or something. Get me back to what I know.
Yeah. So that kind of stuff as a kid, it'll really throw you. You got to be careful with it. Anyway, so all right, well that's great. I'm glad you guys at least had some fun with it. I guess I don't know. I missed all this.
I mean, it was fun. It was cool looking at all the cameos. It was great when they bring in Burt Ward, and it's great when they bring in, all those cameos, people tied into other things that tie into other universes. The fact that we actually get a kind of an ending to the Christopher Reeve story is great. But the overall storyline was just not there, and it's just a matter of, hey, let's go to this scene, to this scene, to this scene, and some characters, just because of the way scheduling goes, you don't even get them in shots where they should have been. Like Cisco, where did he go the whole second half or the whole final 4/5 of the show? He's gone.
Oh, no kidding. Yeah.
And there's one moment where I really expected them, all the Paragons, to do a Care Bear stare. And for anybody who's already seen that final confrontation between the Spectre and the Anti-Monitor, and they're all standing in line, I'm like, surely something is going to erupt from their chests right now, and then it doesn't. It's just like, man, whatever.
Yeah. Sorry, there's been some confusion in the chat whether or not Julie Andrews
Discussion
was,
about whether Julie Andrews was really topless in SOB.
Guarantee she was. She was absolutely boobs out. I remember this like it
I can't
burned in
believe
my
that
brain.
there's a discussion.
I may have been wrong about Letterman and how many times he hosted the Tonight Show, but I am not wrong about this. I was a young, very impressionable young boy.
This is a subject that I'm absolutely 100%.
And the thing is, the leading man in that movie was J.R.
Mulligan from,
I
thought it was Richard Mulligan from Soap.
Oh, I thought it was J.R. from
Maybe I'm thinking. Maybe that one I am thinking of Victor
Dallas.
Victoria.
MrSkin.com.
I have still never been there. I don't know what this place is. Everyone brings it up. Randy doesn't believe
Show
me.
us your search history.
You can look at all of
Show
it.
us.
I've never been to Mr. Skin. I don't know anything about it.
I've not been either. This is the first time. I thought there'd be just a real quick search engine where you could just pop in and say Julie Andrews.
Probably
But I
Google
guess
Images or something.
Mr. President, let us see the birth certificate and the web search history,
Yeah,
please.
they may have done some sort of edit for TV or something. I don't know. So maybe that's what some people are thinking. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Let's get off her boobs and on to the next thing, which is this. We've been talking.
That was my segue. You like that?
Yeah, it was pretty good. Stephen and I have been talking here and there about coloring books and putting up more of that sort of stuff. I've been working on a couple things here, and here's an idea. The Democratic Presidential Candidates Activity Book. Is this for real?
This is for real.
Okay.
It is. You can look at you share some of these images there in the chat or there on the video.
Yeah.
But these are very like, I don't even know how to describe these caricatures of all of the candidates, the 2020 Democratic candidates.
Yeah.
But they're kind of scary looking.
Yeah.
And I can't imagine giving this to anyone to say, "Hey, you look a little stressed out. How about you color this picture of Bernie Sanders with his arm raised, yelling at you? That'll calm you down."
Yeah.
But it's just like 30 pages or something of coloring books, activity book, I guess is what they call them. You don't want to call them coloring books because that's for that's for kids.
Right.
But man, it is an interesting look. Something that I think Justin Robert Young should be on the lookout for as he goes out to the. I think he's going out to Iowa, isn't he?
He's going to one of the primaries. Is it Iowa? I don't know.
I think it is.
Yeah, he's his PX3 stuff is. He did a little fundraising for that, so he could do the travel costs and everything. And he's
this thing just looks weird. If this can be a coloring book, Scott, then I think you should have no problem getting your coloring book out there and up there on the Amazons by the end of the week.
What happened to Andrew Yang's hand? My gosh.
I know, right?
Look at that, Brian. Have you got
look at Beto O'Rourke's face?
I stopped at Bernie Sanders. I was just glued to the Bernie Sanders coloring book.
They've got Joe Biden is getting uncomfortably close to a woman again. You decide who. Oh, wow.
Man, yeah, these are poor. I mean, I guess you have to have thick lines to be able to fill in the colors, but
I guess. But wow,
I don't know.
Why are all their pictures, by the way, look like they're on Match Game, getting introduced at the beginning of Match Game?
They kind of do, yeah.
The circles with the stars all around them.
And this is something to color in.
This is pre-Fallout for a lot of these guys too. So there's Beto O'Rourke's in there.
They look like they're from the game. Oh my God, Marianne Williamson.
Joe C-Stack.
This one looks like it's just totally parody though. The Marianne Williamson.
And I'm sure somebody is having fun with it, but just the fact that it exists in this world.
Also, it looks like that Marianne Ann Williamson one looks like it was drawn by my stoner friend in detention.
Right, exactly.
Like a kid who's super into Rush. He's scratching this on the desk. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know what this is.
Oh, geez, these are painful.
But you know what? But you bring up a point. Fellow artists out there, we need to do more coloring books because it turns out even adults are into them. So.
Oh yeah. Now, I would have thought that the coloring book craze ended like 3 years ago because like 3 years ago, coloring books were all over the place.
Yeah.
But you can still go to the bookstore, the grocery store, and they have a section, where they have the magazines that still have the find-a-words and the coloring books are all over that place.
Yeah. Well, I'm into this. This looks great. Now, all right, to the biggest news of the week. You finished your arcade 1-up conversion to RetroPie, and you love it. How's it look?
I did.
Yeah, yeah.
And you did this with which one? The Street Fighter machine?
Street Fighter, yeah, Street Fighter 2 is the one that I did.
All right.
And it is really cool. I only had to drill 2 holes so that I could accommodate the coin, essentially the coin buttons, which essentially I think are the select buttons on a regular NES controller.
Yeah.
And then wired everything up with some light up LED buttons, wired it all up to a USB controller, popped it into the Raspberry Pi, and boom, it's working.
That's fantastic.
That's so cool.
It took me about an afternoon to do. I mean, I had to put the arcade 1-up machine together, and then it was just a matter of, okay, here are the parts that I need to disconnect. Here's the Raspberry Pi, and the longest part was simply putting in all the buttons and connecting the what are they called, the posts to the USB board, and then also hooking up the LED part. That was the longest part.
Right.
And then just turning it on and away it goes.
That's awesome. Are you? Do you have any particular games that you're like, oh man, this is so perfect for those?
Yes, because the Street Fighter one is the 2-person system that works great for all the fighting games. So my kids are loving the classic arcade, Mortal Kombat and Metal Slug and all those kind of games. They're loving that as the 2-player stuff. Me myself, I'm still trying to get past that first level on Donkey Kong.
Well, Yep. Hey, what?
Cool.
My favorite part of Donkey Kong is the little intro that goes do 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 do. I love that.
You know what's funny is the Chase ATMs now do a thing when you finish your transaction where it sounds like the Donkey Kong music, but it's that Like it sounds like it's the ending part of that theme.
Oh, that's funny.
I'm gonna have to record it and play it on the show because it cracks me up every single time.
Now, here's the thing. Now, I was talking about the instructions that I used to build this one-up machine I got from the ETA Prime YouTube web channel. Somebody had contacted me, one of the Frog Pants tadpoolers contacted me afterwards and said, hey, I followed those instructions too, but the HDMI controller that I got was wrong for the monitor, and I blew out the monitor is what he told me. He said you have to be really careful, and sure enough, if you look on the back of your monitor, there is a kind of like a serial number or a model number on the back of the monitor. When you go and buy your HDMI board, you do need to double check and make sure that your board will work with that monitor model. Mine did, so I didn't have any problems. The other thing you also have to make sure is that controller board, and of course any exposed circuit boards, are not in any contact with metal, because the back of the monitor is metal, and if you're putting that controller board in contact with the back of the monitor, it will also cause it to fry out. So that is the only caution that I'd say to anybody who wants to do this, but it was super, super easy to do. I was very pleased with it, and it's been basically on every single day since we hooked it up like 2 weeks ago.
Wow. I'm jelly. I need to just do it. I have the thing.
Yeah.
Just do it.
I'm going to do it as soon as I see the X-Men or the Marvel machines get down to the price that the other ones were, when they get down to the $199 price point. That's the one I want, because if I'm going to have it all branded, I'm not planning on covering it up with anything.
Right.
If I'm going to have it all branded,
I understand that.
I want a Marvel
Yeah,
business.
I would definitely now. I don't know if Costco sells these things, if you can get them cheaper, if they sell them at Costco or not.
I would be surprised if they don't. Yeah.
Yeah, but I do know that the Walmart ones especially because I did also get the Marvel one, still $100 more. It's like, what is it? $299 instead of $199. Yeah. The other thing I would say, the other thing that I discovered is that I did not drill a hole through the acrylic cover on where your controllers are, and just because I was like, well, I don't want to drill another hole. I just want to put this together, see if it works, and then I got too lazy to pull everything back up and put the acrylic back
re-drill,
in.
Yeah.
Man, either my hands are super acidic or sweaty, or the printing on these cabinets is the cheapest that you've ever seen, because my hand resting on the edge has already rubbed off basically all of the paint right there on the top of the controller.
Did you smear off a little bit of Ryu?
Yeah, pretty much.
Smeared off some Ryu. He goes, Shuriken!
Oh, real quick.
Yeah.
When it comes to, you guys were talking about weird dreams. If people want to have the weirdest dreams, now I don't know if this will happen for everybody, but it does for me. In the afternoons, if I'm at home and I'm just need a little quick nap or something for like 30 minutes to an hour, I will turn on podcasts and I'll lay down on the couch here in the office and I'll turn up the volume just, to where it's just maybe a little, not uncomfortably loud, but fairly loud. And I'll go to sleep. And man, having Brian and Scott and Justin and Tom Merritt running around in your dreams because the podcast is filtering into your mind as you're dreaming is the weirdest, trippiest stuff you will ever experience.
Really?
That's hilarious.
Oh yeah, it is funny.
All right. I mean, I'm trying to think. Steven has been at least one of my weird dreams. Right around.
I know I have been. I know that my
my
severed head on a wheelchair.
Remember that, dude? That was so weird.
And I'm mouthing words, but no sound is coming out or something.
Yes. Oh, I almost forgot about that. That's awful.
You've never taken edibles.
Nope. That's why I'm afraid to take them a little, because maybe it'll open me up.
Do a super small dose, man.
Yeah.
If they give you a gummy bear, like eat half of the gummy bear.
Yeah. Don't just gnaw off a leg, but do half of the gummy bear. So at least it's working. Otherwise, if you do the foot, the problem with those is like, I'll do the foot. I'm not feeling anything. I'll eat the rest of the gummy bear.
Yeah.
Boom. It's like, no, do a starter amount so that you at least feel something, so it's working, and then you can work your way up if you want to. But
all right.
Oh, Alex says a quarter of a gummy is nuts.
Oh, is it?
Why do those gummy bears have big nuts?
They have huge nuts.
A quarter of it is nuts.
Gigantic
I guess it also depends
nuts.
on how dispersed the stuff is in the stuff, because that's one of the problems with some of the edibles is that it doesn't get mixed evenly.
Yeah.
Oh, that's an interesting point. Wow.
Yeah, I had a friend whose parents decided that, hey, Colorado, we'll go to the Colorado for the weekend and have some edibles. And he had some, I think brownies is what he said. And at first it didn't hit him right away. And they said, okay, well, we'll just eat a second brownie.
Yeah.
And then we're just sick for the rest of the week.
Oh, no. Yeah, you don't want to do, you need to pace yourselves. I haven't even done it, and I know that. So I'm gonna be careful.
Yeah, don't eat the full gummy.
Yeah, don't eat a full gummy. Let that be a warning to you.
Exactly.
Well, all right.
Just as Scott is throwing it up in the air, he'll grab it and go, oh, bad gummy.
Too much gummy. Indeed.
Nice reference. All right. It's Steven Schleicher. Oh, you know what? There was something you asked me on Twitter I was going to answer today. What was it?
What was it?
I don't know. I'm going to look it up.
Was it about the can't flush your toilets when the electricity is off?
Oh, right. So you guys have a pump.
Yeah. So living in the country,
yeah,
we are hooked up to a well system, and that has an electric pump that pumps the water into the house. And so for me, growing up, when we did lose power, we didn't have any electricity to run the water pump, so we couldn't flush the toilet because we wouldn't have any new water coming in. So when I did leave and went to the city and the electricity went off, I was like, we shouldn't flush the toilet. And people are like, what's wrong with you? So some people, especially if you have an electric well pump, yeah, you can't flush the toilet when the electricity goes out. So.
All right. That makes sense. Yeah. So my whole assumption that the power of gravitational water pull, or however the hell it works, is not universally true everywhere. So it depends on where you're at. We had a sump pump for the basement in my old house because there was a weird gravity thing going on, and I freaking hated that thing. It got clogged all the time. It was a nightmare. But the upstairs you could. So if the power went out, we had to say, all right, everybody only uses upstairs toilets. Don't go downstairs, because if they went downstairs, it was a freaking nightmare. Anyway, people are gross, it turns out. That's the bottom line.
Surprise! This just in.
Yeah, people are gross. Steven, it's always a pleasure hanging out with you. Do you have any cool stuff happening on the site we can tell the fine folks about?
Oh, yes. Just go over there and check out many of the podcasts that we'll have coming up this week. If people are patrons at patreon.com/major spoilers, we have the GM Roundtable, our second episode of that we will be recording next week. The topic will be PCs and NPCs, how to craft them for your game.
Nice. I like the sound of this.
Check
it out. That's majorspoilers.com. I was a little thirsty. Would you have any recommendations for me today?
I would say stay hydrated because it is very dry this time of year.
It is. I don't like it. Bye. All right. Yeah.
Well played.
My doctor told me to put these in my eye. They're called Systane. Systane. And they're very good at keeping your eyes moist in the dry, cold weather. All right, Brian. Oh, hey, you know how you got the iPod Pros there?
Yes, the AirPod. Yeah, AirPod Pros.
AirPod Pros,
AirPods Pro.
That's what I meant. Yeah. So I had been eyeing those, but at the same time, I've been eyeing a much more expensive solution, which I didn't want to pay, so I haven't. So apparently the best thing you can get right now they work on Android as well, but the best thing you can get is these Beats Pro. What are they called? Beats something. Anyway, they're still made by Apple because it's the Beats brand, but they're these Beats over the ear things that people work out with. These things.
Oh yeah, and they connect. So
you hook
right. I think I've got a pair of those that do have a little cable that goes, a thin cable that goes between them.
Yeah, that used to be the way with these, right? They used to do them like that. Now these are wireless now, and they do the whole. As soon as you open it, your phone goes, "Oh hi." Those are like they treat them just like that. It has Siri capability. You can pause with it and all that stuff. Anyway, but these were not on the table because they were like the best I could find them for was like $300, sometimes more. And I'm like, I don't want to pay that.
Yeah.
Pros seemed a little expensive too, but I'm like, I do like the noise canceling. I want to see. These went on sale on Amazon for less than the AirPod Pros for like a day. And so I got them.
Do they do the noise canceling and the transparency?
They do the noise canceling. I don't know about the transparency. Probably not. But I really like them so far. And they don't have that Bluetooth problem I have where when I go outside, it gets interrupted all the time by all the signals.
So weird. Yeah.
For the first time. And that's true of like 3 or 4 different headsets I have, including my old iPod or AirPods. These don't do that. So anyway, I just want to put a little mini review out. These have been great.
Nice. Yeah. Very good.
So far, so good. And I only did it because I got a deal.
I'm still happy with the whole transparent, like being able to to pinch this thing and then pinch the corner of the AirPod Pro and then be able to hear my music and all the noise that's going around me in case somebody's talking to me without having to 1 second, like do the gesture, 1 second, and then pull them out of my ears.
There it is. Power Beats Pro. That's what they're called.
Power Beats Pro. Okay.
They
do the same. They do the correct plural with the Power Beats,
yes,
not the Power Beat Pros.
Yes. Very well said. Yes. Anyway, it's very cool. I like them.
Cool. Good.
And it comes with a big clamshell charger thing.
And the fact that it works, you know, I mean, the most important thing is the fact that it works for you and, like, you know, you don't get that weird cutting in and out kind of thing.
Right. Oh, yeah, that thing drove me crazy. It was so annoying. But also, these have 9.5 hours of battery life, which is nice.
Nice.
Yeah, which is significantly longer than my AirPods. My AirPods are short. All right.
My AirPods I keep in my car now. I don't think there's an aftermarket resale for used AirPods. I don't know, maybe there is, but I guess if you Purell the crap out of them, and then maybe it's not like there's
sure, so it shouldn't be too bad, right?
Be too bad. Maybe we'll see if I can throw them on a
just lick them, just suck them like your
oh sure,
your,
like
like a contact.
2 how many licks does it take to get to the center of an AirPod? 1 2 3.
Did you ever clean your contacts by putting it in your mouth? Have we talked about this? I think we may have.
We have and I don't.
We have and I don't.
Still don't.
Okay,
we have
good.
talked about this and I still don't.
Good, because it's gross. I know people who do this and it grosses me out. I can't stand it.
No, I can't imagine that anything that they get from just being out in the air is going to be worse than what they get from being in your mouth.
Yeah. I think that's foul. I don't like it. No, sir, I don't. All right, Brian, we're going to play a mashup. This is a Monday mashup from our good friend TMS Mashups. Jamie put this together. I don't know what it is. I haven't peeked. I have no idea. It's called Meanwhile at the Batcave. So your guess is as good as mine. Here it is.
Mabba.
How I love you. How I love you.
He lives among the beasts and eats grass.
I lost my body.
Dr. Crusher has to check his testicles for growths. So.
Leslie, turn your head and cough.
You know it's time for your yearly exam, Mom. Spice Baby Q. Space Baby Q.
Space Baby.
Space Baby.
Sounds like Australian. Space Baby.
Space Baby. Because you guys do Twit as
4
well.
podcasts you love from 4 people you trust.
There are 4 downloads. Oh shit! I've been caught. Wow.
I had time to save my freeze-dried toads playing banjos, but I couldn't save my MAGA hat. I've got a Blockbuster video card. I've got a Shoney's.
I have a receipt for the
Frequent Diner.
My black and white Zenith I bought in '74.
Exactly.
Like, what is that down there? Oh my gosh.
I had to go into podcasting because my penis was too large for television. Because we couldn't find a bat sock.
It seems like such an odd thing to stick in there.
I used the tip of a butcher's knife. I couldn't get it out.
Y'all got any nails around here?
I tried removing it with a saw blade in it. No, I just slipped right in Australian. I can't do it. You'll get no jigsaw puzzle, no Harvey's Bristol cream, and no Lieutenant Yar. Oh, this smells like a really good place for me to poop.
I'm all out of poops to give. I don't have any poops left. I don't give a poop.
I would have had poops.
Yeah,
Scott.
You'd still have poops.
I'd still have poops. You lied to me about going to the library.
They're all gonna laugh at you.
You were wrestling. I can smell it on you. Orkney. My name is Morkney. I'm from Orkney.
Wow, you sound Australian, I would say to that guy.
If it ain't Scottish, it's crepe.
It's crepe.
Meanwhile, at the Batcave.
Kiss. Bra strap.
Right. Shrink and
second base.
Shrivel.
I was in the pool. I don't remember that conversation, but sure.
Yeah, talking about the bat symbol spinning around and all the small things that would be shown on screen when Robin hits somebody because of his massive
wiener.
Too big for the costume.
Yeah, that's right, because he wore and we had all kinds of questions about that.
Right, Burt Ward.
Right, Burt Ward.
Totally believe you, Burt Ward.
Right. All right. We're done with the show. We've done it. We'll be back tomorrow. We got plenty to do for the rest of the week, so we hope you come back and join us then. You can support the show at frogpants.com, or excuse me, patreon.com/frog. No, Patreon.com/TMS. Boy, you'd think I'd never done this before.
I
Patreon.com/TMS. And already
you do that, you now get an extra show.
Yeah, you get the now behind the wall TMS PM, which we've got a big response from so far. So thanks everybody. Nobody's been complaining. They're just like, yeah, that makes sense. You guys were giving it away for free, you dumbasses. Anyway, now we're now we're doing
lesson.
Right.
Lesson learned.
Lesson learned. So that's all happening, and you can be a part of that for as low as $1 a month. By the way, a month. That's ridiculous. That's
we'd love it if you gave us more, but $1 a month and you're in the club.
Yeah,
you're in the cool kids
You're
club.
in the club. There are things you're going to want when you get there, and you'll go, oh, that's only $3? I'll do that. Or that's $5? I'll do that. But yeah, to get started, that's all you need. Anyway, thanks to everybody who already has, and for the new folks we've seen this week, that's been great. We will be doing that this week as well. And what else? Oh, we're at frogpants.com/TMS. You want to find us on Twitter, Morning Stream, Scott Johnson, Coverville for Brian. You can email us, themorningstream@gmail.com. And why not leave us a voicemail, 801-471-0462. I got like 300 to go through, so I'll be doing that soon. Follow Jamie, too. He's at TMS Mashups on Twitter. He's a good follow. All right, that's going to do it for the show. Brian, do you have any music we can play here at the end?
I have one song, just one song, because I've been moving all my music over to the new setup here.
Sure.
Just one song is all I have. This one's going out to Alex Ford, Racer951Y in the chat room. That's a very specific name, and I'd love to hear the story behind it sometime, Alex. He says, I forgot to do this for my birthday in October, so I'm going to go ahead and ask for it any day you have free. Today is the day I have free, and this is a great one. This is his request is a cover of Coldplay's Yellow. This is covered. This was covered last year on a special BBC charity album that found a bunch of folks like Jodie Whittaker, David Tennant, Olivia Colman, like all these different British actors and actresses doing covers. Really, really cool. This is Jodie Whittaker, the current Doctor on Doctor Who, with her cover of Coldplay's Yellow.
Oh, that's so cool. She even did that. All right. Here it is. We'll play it now. We'll see you tomorrow. This show is part of the Frog Pants Network.
Frog Pants Network.
Get more shows like this at frogpants.com.
Stick your hand in the cage, and you just might lose it.
Jeez.
Wow.
Easy, Tychus. Tychus Findlay.